Hi, so a bit of a unusual intro there. Just my mate and his friend messing around with guitars, harmonicas and his new loop pedal box. So thought I'd throw it in for a laugh. Welcome to Down the Shed. So we're going to build this. I'm not going to power it up right now because you'll see it at the end of the video. But we've now hit 100 subscribers. I was hoping to have this ready for that actually, but there you go. When I noticed I had 99, I had 100 the next day and I had no chance, so it was a rush build, which is why the video is pretty rushed. I didn't want to waste loads of time on the video. Once you've soldered one LED and resistor in, you've soldered one or you soldered 100, they're all the same, it's just repetition. Repeat and carry on. So yeah, let's see the building of this and the end project, or the end product. So thank you to the first 100, and here's to the next 100. Okay, so I think this is the crappy solder. I'm gonna have to have some glare on this board. I'm sorry. Don't know how well that's gonna pick up. Let's bring the board over there a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna solder the negative legs in because they're sticking up, and I've bent the other legs around just to hold the LED in place. Heat the pin, heat the pad, introduce the solder. Job's a good one, so that's that one done. Heat the pad, heat the pin. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes when I've done all these.
John Peacock is giving Brad and Jack a quick walk when an emergency call comes through on the airwaves. And passing words for his passenger. With the wanted man on the way to the neck, the interceptors give the car a quick going over and find a large wad of cash.
Right, so that's the pretty much the one done. It's in a weird orientation, or I kind of done a one with a base and a pokey pointy up bit. So I'll snip all the earth legs off because they're soldered down. Some better than others. They're soldered down, and now if I need to manipulate the LED in any way, I can just mount the one leg and adjust the LED without having to peer around, having two legs soldered in and having to heat both up to move it. So I think that was a big Clive tip, but I kind of figured that one out on my own self. But yeah, I think Clive mentioned it before. Might have to get a new pair of snips out. I've got so many old pairs now, you just don't use them for much else. And anything I do use them for is pretty much too much for them and they snap. But then I don't suppose they were designed to do. I've got some wire mesh somewhere, it's quite thick. Right, that's just all pinged. So we're straightening up these legs so we get a nice solder on them. I'm just thinking whether to do the resistors afterwards. So I'm using surface mount again. You can either use push through on the other side or surface mount on this side. I bought surface mount because I was quite into surface mount at the time. Still am, but... Right, so we can now quickly whiz this over, and they're all pretty much... That one could go down a touch. But they're all pretty much okay if I wanted to light them up as they are. So anyway, so look, he's okay. That's alright. So we might just let these two come up a bit. Like so. And of course having that earth leg off already makes it easier to reposition. But just remember to melt the solder before you push the LED because you could ruin the pad. Or not ruin it, rip it off. And then you have to wire it off another LED with a jump cable. So I'm just literally reflowing the earths and then pushing the LED so it's sitting flat on the board underneath my finger. I may as well just go around them all and do that one by one. You can retin anything where necessary later. It's quite long and tiring, but you want to do a decent job, a pretty good job. So I'm now happy with my number one. I think I should put an extra one in there actually. I know it kind of... I didn't test any of these before I put them in either, which was a bit silly. So even though this has only got one this side and this has got two, it does even it up with that sticky out pointy bit on the number one. Jobs are good and right, so I'm happy with all of those. Oh, get in. Should really loosen that up before doing that, but yeah, anyway, let's I'll get these soldered in. I'm not going to do it on camera. I'll put the next two numbers in next to it, ready. We'll bang some power on it. Sorry, we'll put some resistors in, bang some power, and we'll have a look at our first part of the board. Right, so I've done all the little surface mount resistors on this one. We might do a couple on one of them on camera. It's not really that big a deal. Got the laptop here, that's on charge, so this should power up. So we should get our first digit, which is the 1. Might have to turn the computer on. There we go. So that's candle effect number 1. So I'll put the 2 zeros on. I'll do some of the surface mount resistors on one of those so you can see those being done. But that's our, that was a bit wonky. That's our first one. Okay, so which way does that one go? Now I'm going to have to unplug this while I do this. So it's this one here wants to go that way. See what that is. No, that's not too bad, that's better. Oh, that one's... There we go, that's fine. Okay, so we'll plug that back in quick. And there we have it. So that's our number 1. We'll crack on with the rest of the numbers before we start on the letters. Right, as you can see here, I've blue tacked these LEDs in just to speed this up a bit. So, blooming cable, easier to put it off and resolder it. So we'll just flick that over, pull that out of the way. Now the line is here. Neither camera is probably going to pick that up too well. Try a bit on there. I need this light on. So, because we've got the blue tack in, we shouldn't really need to worry about positioning. So just get the solder in. Right, I've got 3 little surface mount resistors there, so I'll try and zoom in a bit. See if I can find one at the camera. See quite well. Yeah, there we go. So I'll do these three, and then I'll do the rest of this U off camera. Probably a lot more of the board. I might come back for bits. Come here, it's dried up a bit, this stuff, because it's been left out while I was out. So just get some solder paste. This is paste, not flux. So this is just like microscopic balls of solder suspended in a paste, which will melt like solder. So we'll grab one of these little resistors, bring that in, add the heat, and we've got a little solder joint there. So we'll do that again. Bring in the part, add the heat, melt the solder. And for the last one, or for this one, for the camera anyway. There we go. So what we want to do for those is bring some solder in on the other side, seal it up. You may want to add more in there. Once you've seated them, it's not a big a deal. And this one. So it's easier just to seat them on the board with the solder paste on the one side and then just solder them down on the other. So that's three of the surface mount resistors on. I've only done the one leg, but we can snip those off now because they're all held in place. And then we'll just solder the other legs on the other side. I would turn the board around really because it makes it easier doing the soldering from the right, but that was a bit untidy. Can be done. Clean tip. Jobs are good in. So snip those legs off. I'll get the rest of these resistors in. And then we can test the board, so we can remove all these blobs of blue tack for a minute. And there's our new line, so that'll be our U coming up here. BS. That sounds like politics, bit of BS. So that's that. That's another stage of the, that will come up a bit, stage of the project done. As I say, I've just finished these resistors. Okay, so I focused the top camera, purposely zoomed in on those three resistors there. Hopefully that's fine. So what I'm going to do, if you haven't got any solder paste, or you've run out, or you don't use it, or you haven't used it, whatever, when doing surface mount, pre-tin the pad to which hand you are. So obviously if you're using the soldering iron in your left hand, you do the left pad. I'm right-handed, so the soldering iron will be coming in with my right hand and the tweezers with my left. Oh, you little, why do you never pull the right way up? So what I'll do, or what we'll do, is we'll now bring the component in, butt it up against that, and then reflow it, bring the component in and let go. And to be fair, it does actually give you a much cleaner, neater joint. So just butt it up. There we go, that's much preferable connection there. Let's just tap it down. Right, there we go. So butt up. There we go. So yeah, it gives a nicer looking solder. But now we can just tap these three in. So that's the other rest done. I kind of went a bit off piece. Right, so now I've just got to do the B, and that's the subs, and then the 2 zeros for the 100. Okay, so we're on the home straights. I've done subs, I've got the 1 0. I kind of played around with it. Was going to be a square one, but I've managed to make it into a sort of a pretty round one. So we're on the last 4 flickery candle LEDs. So as you can see, I've missed the corners out to make it look a bit more circular-y. Top 2, and then I've got left to do then is do the resistors on these 2. I think I might have done that one actually. And it's job done. So a bit of blue tack. Just hold them in place with a bit of bluey. Like so. Like so. So we'll spin that over. Quickly solder them down. See, some of us have gone blind in our age. You need to clean your iron every now and again, or regularly. You get old solder build up on there and it just won't take. So that's those on there. I have resisted the other 0. So I'm literally do the resistors on these 10 and jobs are good. And so I don't know why I bothered using this solder paste, because it's quicker without the solder, and just like I showed earlier, putting a dab of solder on one pad and then using that to reflow. See, it's quite tricky, this stuff. That one's way out anyway. Sorry about the ringer light. See if we can do without it. No. But yeah, these are well tricky to get the older solder paste to stick to. Yeah, as a place, it's good for doing very small SMD chips, or if you've got a stencil that you can put the paste on with rather quickly. Right, so I'll finish these off and then we'll come back. Right, so here we are at the end of the project. I'll just plug this USB into my laptop. And there we have it, 100 subs. So thank you to you guys once again, and let's look forward to making that 2 zeros, or rather 3 zeros and not 2 zeros. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, usual blah blah blah. Thanks for watching, see you guys in the next one. Okay, so just quick, what we're actually going to do now is we're going to remove the corner of these S's here on both of them, to try and make it a bit more rounder like the zeros. So we'll flick the iron on. We want our desoldering tool. So what we'll do is we'll do one S first and we'll compare the two. So there we go, so that'll be this one here. worst case scenario, we just cut the LED out and remove the resistor if we have any trouble with it. But there we go, that one's coming out fairly easily. So this one next. So we come along, miss, down, miss. So again, just heat the pad, solder sucky, heat the pad, solder sucky, remove this one here. So that's our S's removed, so let's see how it looks. And that, my friends, looks so much better. It's upside down. No, it's not. It's the right way up for you. So I think you'll agree that the second S, or this one, looks much better than that one. So let's get the other one done. And that looks so much better. I'm wondering if I can do anything with the B actually. Yes, I can. So we'll take the two corners of the B as well, just to give that a bit of a round up. So it's all down trial and error. When you're doing something new, you've got to try things out. So we did it the old school way, or my old school way of making square letters. And then I had the idea of taking out corners and making them look rounded. So next time we can save a few resistors and a few LEDs. By using our new design. Live and learn. God, I took both out on that. That was a good suck. Oh, it fell out on its own. That was a good suck. Right, so let's have another look. And there you have it. That looks more like a B, they look more like S's, and the little U. So that is my 100, it's upside down. That is my 100 subs light board. I will try and alter these, possibly if I can get them out to 250 when we get to 250, so that'll be another year and a half, but we'll worry about that. I'll probably keep this up for a while, we'll see. But that is my Big Clive board with my 100 subs in LED. So thanks for watching, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more exciting projects and some GTA information. Ciao Lily!